I want to get started with what is warranty administration. Let's start kind of at an elemental level there. Like what is it?
Well, warranty processing, of course, is we're here to do warranty administration for the dealerships. What we do is we help the dealership get paid from the OEM. So we're just basically submitting the claim on their behalf. And what makes us so our business model is most like H&R Block, even though we don't have anything to do with taxes. For the same reason that you would hire H&R Block to help you with your taxes, the dealership would hire us to improve their warranty administration.
What would inspire a dealership to outsource that to a company like yours?
Well, for the same reasons I was just talking about with a tax consultant. You're hoping that tax consultant, one, is they're going to make the job a lot easier for you. It's going to take a lot of strain and pressure off the dealership and their management. Mm-hmm. Plus, of course, if you're paying a tax consultant who knows the tax code in and out, they're going to get you paid better than what you would normally get paid. And finally, you're hoping that if you hire somebody, they're going to give you good advice. So should you ever be audited, you're going to keep the money. And those are the exact same reasons that dealerships hire us. You know, we're here to get you paid to the fullest, make it easy on your team and your staff so they can focus on more profitable things, and also to protect you from audit. Our folks are very knowledgeable and experienced, and that makes a big difference.
It sounds wonderful. How does it work?
You know, first off, we make it as simple as possible for the dealership, and that's key because service departments are actually a very complicated business model in itself. There's a lot of difficulty in running a profitable shop. There's a lot of places that you can lose money, and so management really should be focused on the things that really need to drive service. Mm-hmm. And that's properly loading the shop, having the skilled mechanics. Nowadays, it's a fight for every dealership to get skilled mechanics. And so a lot of their management's time should be spent on these things, making sure that they're the tools. There's so many tools out there that helps them in the lane nowadays, mm-hmm. but how effectively the dealership utilizes those tools makes a big difference in their profitability. And so what our company does is by freeing up those, by making it simple, we're not going to slow your team down. We're going to actually log right into the DMS. So whatever DMS system the dealership has, we have, over 500 dealerships, and we connect to almost every DMS out there. And so we'll log right into the DMS, and from the DMS, usually right through there, we'll manage their open RO list. So that means what we're going to do is we're going to be processing all of their claims that are ready for us. Now, we're not going to take any claims, let's say that the advisor is still working on or the shop is still working on. So we wait for a particular indicator from the advisor saying that the work is done. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to put the labor operations in. We're going to close the repair order. We're going to submit it right to the manufacturer. And what makes us different than some of the folks out there in the business is that we have 4 employees that are assigned to every dealership. And those 4 employees are basically a warranty administrator, and then also a statements person, a posting person, and a schedules person. And so what those folks do is they make sure that our admins are able to process more claims by mm-hmm. backing them up. And there's also accountability built into our company, and it makes it simple. But from the dealer standpoint, we're going to log in, we're going to process the claims and close them. We're going to help them manage the warranty schedule, making sure that it stays concise and clean. And if there's any aged balances, we'll actually be coming to the dealer and pointing those out on a monthly basis if there's any concerns on the schedule.
Does it cost more? Does it cost less? I mean, it sounds like you're going to probably get more money for the warranty work that you're doing, but from a cost standpoint, what's that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. Usually the service costs less than processing claims in-house. So especially when you take into consideration the entire amount of time that your admin spends processing claims, if you just, let's say that the admin is only spending 75% of their day processing claims, you can take 75% of the cost of that employee and compare it to our services, and normally we're less than that. At the same time, we're going to free up service management, so we're going to save the dealership a sliver of time there. We're going to reduce some HR related to that employee, and we're also going to possibly free up, depends on how well the dealership utilizes the service, but we can free up their advisors and or technicians from looking up labor ops, because our system is fast enough that we'll flag the techs so that in time for payroll, which is one of the big pressures for a lot of dealerships. We find that dealerships, they'll have an in-house admin, originally who's maybe booking the labor operations, and that allows the techs to continue processing the claims. But almost invariably, when it's a single point of failure like that, they'll lose that admin and they'll be retraining somebody, and maybe that person, obviously is a beginner and isn't necessarily good at it, or they'll go through a period where they just can't do that and it falls on the manager. Then usually it ends up on the advisor's task list to take care of those technicians' time, and the techs get very uncomfortable with that because the advisors just don't have the training and the skill in that area, and they'll generally leave a lot of opportunities on the table, and that hurts, of course, what the dealer is going to collect, and it also is going to limit what the technician is going to get paid. So then the techs get involved. Well, unfortunately, that seems like, it does seem like a workable solution, and it gets it done, but the problem is it's hugely expensive for the dealer. Just 24 minutes a day from a technician looking up labor ops, and that's the minimum amount of time it'll take, will cost the dealership between $85,000 to $150,000 a year in lost sales. Because that 24 minutes per tech adds up to 2 hours of lost time per week per tech.
Wow.
And those numbers I was giving you was for a shop of, like, let's say 10 techs. So it can be a lot worse than that if you're a very large shop.
I imagine when a dealership goes from having a person that's in the building to using a service like yours where the people are not in the building, communication is probably vital and very important. How do you set that up, and how do you make that kind of an easy process?
Yeah, absolutely. You're exactly right on. One of the things that we do is make sure that communication is set right from the very beginning. So during the sales process, we do an online presentation normally, unless you're close to Pensacola, then I might actually drive out to see you. But most of the time what we do is we'll do an online presentation, and in that presentation we're going to go over the importance of writing good stories, that from the very beginning what that takes. And that's a requirement that exists for all dealerships for their techs anyway. So what we do though is we want the advisors to take just a quality check of that ticket, make sure that 3 C's are in the story, make sure the parts are charged out, make sure any prior authorizations are collected. And then what we do is to enhance that, we send our rep, either myself and or David Jones, who's got 40 years service experience. One of us come out to the dealership and we spend a day at the dealership. And during that installation, we're going over a lot of details with the compliance stuff, audit liability and requirements, so that the dealership's aware of signatures that they need to get, prior approvals, and all that sort of thing for that OEM. And then also we go over this communication aspect to really nail down how to make the program as smooth as possible. So the way that happens is, of course, by getting as much information in the DMS as possible. So that way, when our admins go in, they can read the technician's story fully, right from the tech, preferably, and also they can see the time punches that the tech put on there, so that we can collect any straight time or additional time. And then if there is weakness in the claim, it's important that the dealership is prepared, so that when we reply and send them notification that we need additional assistance, that information gets back to the source. And that is generally the advisor who wrote the ticket, is getting paid a commission on the ticket. And that way our biggest goal is to not turn that service manager into our assistant. We want to make sure that we help that service manager manage his team and give him the tools he needs to manage his team, so that they can improve the quality of their warranty without bogging him down.
So your team will reach out directly to that service writer and help to coach them to produce better tickets.
Yes, sir. So we We're going to email directly to, generally we send an email directly to that advisor who wrote the ticket, and then we're going to CC the manager. And in most DMSs, we're able to flag it in the DMS, also put information in the DMS. That way, if the advisor's busy and hasn't had a chance to look at his emails, he'll be able to look right in the DMS and see that information is requested and be able to reply directly to us. The big thing is the service manager doesn't have to oversee and train and look into rejects, and we're there to guide and help them and free them up. And one of the things, on our website, we have a little article about the 80-20 rule and how important our time is. All of us are equal in that regard. We all only have, so many hours in a day. And so where your focus is where you want your management team focused on improving your dealership's business.